Sometimes the best trips are the ones that you don't plan. Today is going to be one of those days. Let's go see where we're going. First, let me start off by saying what started the idea of doing this impromptu trip was that my girls have really taken an interest in K-pop music, which means my wife and I have also taken up an interest in K-pop music. Brought this trip on is we've been eyeing this group for a while. The closest they were going to be to us was in Chicago, and my girls really wanted to go see them, and we were just trying to figure out how to make this work with our general work schedules and life in general and school schedules. But we found a way. We made it work. So we decided at the very last minute at 9 o'clock in the morning that we were going to go ahead and make the trip to Chicago to go see this band. So who did we end up seeing? We ended up seeing Enhypen. This was a concert that we've kind of been wanting to see, but we already have purchased tickets to other shows, but at the last minute we ended up doing it, and I have absolutely no regrets on it. So we get to Chicago, and the venue is just a little bit west of Chicago in a suburb town called Rosemont. So we ended up at Allstate Arena, which really from the outside looks pretty small, which my wife and I figured that was going to lead up to some trouble. It was $25 to park, which wasn't bad. I'll take that. I've been to places that are a lot more expensive than that, especially in Chicago. They open up the doors and start letting people in, and the first thing you want to do is to find your merch. That's the first thing we do. We try to find the merch stand, and usually there's multiple stands throughout the arena. And my youngest daughter and I went to the merch stand closest to the door, which was a mistake. That was absolutely horrible. There was no organization at all for these merch lines. People were trying to get into the venue, to get to their seats, to get concessions. Standing in line for the merch, it's definitely probably the most unorganized merch line I've ever seen. But hey, we're here and it's going to be a good time. I really think there's probably more organization on the Titanic while it was sinking than the organization that this venue had for their merch lines. I know it's an awful thing to say, but, it's true. There was no organization. My wife and girls ended up going to their seats, and I stayed in line to get the t-shirts that we wanted. So after I purchased the t-shirts, they announced that there was 5 minutes to the show. So I got to the aisle where my seat was located right when they started the opening number. The stage that Enhypen had was amazing. It was a huge stage. And for the seats that we were in, there's two bowls. There's a lower bowl and there's kind of an upper bowl. So we were in the front row of the upper bowl, but you could really see their faces just from where we were at. The show itself was fantastic. They put on an excellent show. It was high energy. The crowd was really into it. I don't think I've heard a crowd that much into a concert in a really long time. I think if I were to wear earplugs, it wouldn't have been for the music. It would have been for the fans. And that part was exciting. If I had to pick a favorite moment of this concert, it's probably towards the end of the show when they played Pass the Mic. They played it earlier in the show, but the energy level on the second time that they performed it was through the roof. It was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. As you know, an almost 50-year-old going to a K-pop concert with my family, I really enjoyed it. So after the concert ended, we probably got home at about 6 o'clock in the morning. So we spent probably a little over 12 hours driving, which is fine. Not so for my wife. I was supposed to be the one to drive home, but I didn't really sleep too well on the way to Chicago, and I was struggling, so better safe than sorry. Keep that in mind, kids. Don't drive when you're tired. Anyway, it was a good journey. I wouldn't do it often, but once in a while for a spur of the moment thing to do, it was fun. I highly recommend doing something like that. This was a new journey that I wanted to share with you, and if you want to see more journeys where it's just more, obviously I like to do theme parks, but if you want to see more concerts or just more miscellaneous things, hit the like button. If you've seen and hyping before, please share a comment. Tell me about your experience. I'd like to know. So I will catch you guys later.